Welcome to CrossYoga and to this flow class. As I was preparing it, I got really excited because I think a lot of us need to hear this message today and need to take it in our hearts, in our minds, in our bodies. So welcome on the mat. Find a way that you can sit, somewhat comfortable, maybe on a blanket or pillow to elevate your hip a little bit. And then close your eyes. Maybe take a moment to sit and find the right position in your body. Inhale deeply and exhale out through your mouth. And as you inhale, you might think of it as a prayer, saying, God, speak to me. Exhaling, I'm letting go. Inhaling, God, speak to me. Exhaling, letting it go. You know your body and mind best. So if you listen better as you move a little bit, or find child's pose or whatever, please do so. What I'm reading to you is from Joshua 1. God is speaking to Joshua, but not only to him, also to us today. God is saying, I will be with you. I will never leave you, nor forsake you. Be strong and courageous, because you will lead these people to inherit the land I swore to their ancestors to give them. Be strong and very courageous. Be careful to obey all the law my servant Moses gave you. Do not turn from it to the right or to the left, that you may be successful wherever you go. Keep this book of laws always on your lips. Meditate on it day and night, so that you may be careful to do everything written in it. Then you'll be prosperous and successful. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. What stays back after listening to this? Before we move into down dog, please engage in some free seated, or wherever you are, resting maybe, movements. Listen into your body, where you might need some movements or some stretching. before we get into the bigger part of our class. I don't know if you counted, probably not, but I did when I prepared 3 times. We are told here to be strong and courageous. Almost 4 times, because the last part is also don't be afraid, so it's like reversing it, right? So why is that? Why do we need that kind of repetition? Because we are so afraid, and because we forget and crumble in, and we need to told so many times, listen up, be strong, be courageous. 1 time is not enough. Maybe you know what I mean. Yeah? So listen to this. This is important. When it's said that many times, it's because we need it. And it's because it's important. Now move into your down dog. Moving your legs. Make sure you micro bend your elbows. You take your shoulders away from your ears. The tip of the fingers reaching down in the mat. And then walk your feet to your It can be to your left side. So the feet points out to your left side, almost like a side plank, but you're still staying in your down dog. So you're kind of just stretching the hip and the side up. And walk your feet to the other side. And then to the middle. Lifting up your right leg. Hug it underneath your belly and then to the top end of the mat. Lowering down your left knee on the mat, look to the front. Low lunge, reaching your arms up, moving your hip a little bit more to the front. Prayer hands. And take your elbow, your left elbow, maybe just on the top of the thigh. This is not a huge stretch. I'm not moving my hip too much to the front. We're still warming up. Then down again, framing the front foot, and then walking your hands back, stretching the front leg, runner's stretch. Don't hyperextend the knee. And then again to the front, high lunge this time. So back, knee off, reaching up, if you can keep the balance. Arms up towards the sky. Take your hands behind you, maybe interlace your fingers, reaching down in a version of humble warrior, but this is a humble lunge pose. Letting go, hands down on the mat, step back, down dog. Opposite side as well, left leg, reach it up, and to the top of the mat, low lunge. Again, taking your time, the first time through. Make sure front knee and ankle are aligned, hip here aligned with the short end of the mat, moving your hip up. And no bending back, that's not where we're going yet. Prayer pose. And twisting to your left side. Again, if you feel comfortable getting the elbow on the outer edge of the thigh, do that. Letting go, framing the foot, moving your hip back, stretching the front leg, runner's stretch. Lean in over this top leg. Again, to the front, high lunge. Tucking the toes under, hip width distance in between your feet. And taking your time, that makes it easier not to kind of wobble and fall. Noticing your breath moving down, almost feels like it's down to the belly and up again. Bend your elbows, interlace your fingers, and then maybe stretching your elbows out as you lean forward, going however deep you want to today. Release, step your foot back, down dog. Maybe a vinyasa if you feel like it. Inhale, rounding your back to the front. Exhale, lowering down on knees or toes. Cobra or up dog. Downward facing dog. Let's do this small sequence again. Inhale, right leg up. Exhaling to the top end of the mat, low lunge. And then inhale, arms up. Exhaling, moving your hips more to the front, prayer pose. Inhaling, preparing your twist. Exhaling, really getting there. Inhaling, preparing runner's stretch. Exhaling, leaning forward. Inhaling, walk your hands to the front, lift the back heel up. Exhaling, high lunge. Inhaling, reaching back. Exhaling, moving low. Inhaling, hands on the mat. Exhale, step back, down dog. Opposite side, left leg, inhale, reach up. Exhaling, stepping it through. Low lunge. Inhale, arms up towards the sky. Exhaling, prayer pose. You're doing a great job. Preparing a twist, inhale. And twisting, exhale. Inhaling, preparing runner's stretch. Exhaling, leaning quite a bit forward. Inhaling, preparing high lunge. Exhaling, high lunge. Behind you, interlace the fingers, inhaling, leaning forward, exhaling. Inhaling, step back, sinking your heels somewhat down. Optional vinyasa, if you like. Inhaling to your plank. Exhaling, lower down. Inhaling, cobra, up dog. Exhaling, down dog. Awesome. Another sequence. Jump or walk to the front. Fold forward. And stay in your forward fold. Now, Joshua is told to enter into a land. Is there any land, a task, or something new that you are called into or about to enter into where you need to listen to this? Be strong. Be courageous. Vertebrae by vertebrae, moving into high mountain or just mountain pose. A few balance postures in a moment. First off, lift your right leg up towards the sky. Now you can take your arms up. And then see if this right leg can actually reach up a little bit higher, and you can take your elbows down to see if your elbows can actually reach down on this knee. Maybe you need to round your back a little bit, that's okay. And then extend your arms up. Move your right leg back, warrior 3. Looking down, flexing the back foot, hips are closed. Be courageous and be strong. And smile. Maybe you need your fingers on the mat as you lower down your right leg. Stretch the front leg and move into warrior 2. Opening up your hip as you sink as low as you feel like today. The last pose in this sequence, half moon. So if you're up for this, just shoot ahead and lift your right leg all at once. If you want to take it step by step, hands down on the mat in front of the foot. Now look at the back foot. That foot is turned out to the side just as well as in warrior 2. as in half moon. Don't cross your legs. Make sure that your leg is in front of the other. Stretch out your spine so you're not leaning forward. Maybe you want to lift up right hand as well, looking towards the floor in front of you if the balance is challenged. Breathe. And finding the courage in this half moon pose. Other challenge it might be. Let go, fingers on the mat. Come to the top end of the mat, fold forward. Shaking any tiredness out. And then stand. Stand tall. Catching your breath. And when you're ready, left leg lifted up. First, knee and hip aligned, reaching your arms up, finding your balance. And try to lift your knee even higher, just to see if that works. And your elbows down, reaching. Make sure you're still breathing. And slowly extend your leg behind you, warrior 3, arms still to the top end of on top of your head, thumbs moving up. Try to stretch both legs as much as possible. One more breath. And again, maybe fingers on the mat or just lower down the foot. Stretch. And adjust your stance, warrior 2. Take a look at the back foot all the way down into the mat. Move your hip to the front and strongly bend the front knee. And then the half moon thing again. So, as I said before, hands down, lift the back leg off. If you feel like it, maybe you lean a little bit to the front. Take the back foot a little bit closer, then there's a bigger chance that you're actually making this. And lift all of left side all at once. Just something to play with if you are used to doing yoga. Almost there. Let go, fingers down, step your foot back, child's pose. And maybe on your way down, you kind of wiggle and do what feels good. What also spoke to me was the encouragement, or would you say command, to keep the book of laws. Obey the commandments of Moses. Now, of course, we are not to do that as such, as this is Old Testament commandment to the Jewish people in the desert at that time. But it reminds me that as a Christian, follower of Jesus, that I am supposed to keep the Bible, right? Read the Bible, meditate on its word day and night. This is also what we do on the yoga mat. And doing this is the foundation upon which courage and strength is built. Lift up again and sit on your mat facing the screen. You can take your right leg on the bottom. Maybe you align it with the short end of the mat, probably you're seated that way. And then take the top leg and try to make ankle upon knee, stacked upon knee, and opposite side as well. Now you might sit like this. If it gives you a stretch and you're somewhat comfortable, that's fine. Or if it's not working for you, you can sit in a comfortable seated position, just noticing which leg is on top and which one is at the bottom. When you look down, you'll see a triangle of the mat. You're not to hug your knees or your foot in towards your hip, okay? Shin aligned with the end of the mat, which way you're seated. Stretching the outer thigh. You can even take your hands behind you if there's more space in your thighs. From the push of the hands behind you and the length from shoulder blade to shoulder blade, lean forward. And then lean back, releasing your legs out. Remember, if you're seated, comfortable seated, which leg was on top or on front? Because we're going to do the opposite now. So, you followed my instructions. Now your right leg will be at the bottom and your left leg will be at the top. Listen into your knee joints, not supposed to hurt. Sitting bones on the mat, tall spine. When you feel like your thighs relax, you might take your hands behind you. Again, space in front of your chest as you lean forward with the chest leading. And let go. Now stretch your legs out. Just one more stretch before your option of resting. So come down on your mat. And take your feet somewhat away from your hips, so don't be too narrow here. And then move your legs out to one side. Maybe they reach down the floor, maybe not. Your shoulder blades are still on the mat, so you're not coming onto your side. And hands reaching out to each side. Close your eyes. And listen, just for some parts of this. And maybe picturing yourself opening up your heart to this message. Or opening up your mind to whatever land that you are to enter into. I will be with you. I will never leave you, nor forsake you. Be strong and courageous, because you will lead these people to inherit the land I swore to their ancestors to give them. Be strong and very courageous. Slowly move your legs to the other side. And I'll skip the part about holding the lower because I think you have that, so I'll just move to the last part. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. For the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. Come back to the center. And this message might be emotional, and it's okay. Maybe you need to let go of some discouragements or some defeat that you have experienced. And all that is totally okay. Now you can either stay down on your mat, or I'll introduce a small meditation that I'll invite you to stay with or be in after this video is finished. So if you want to try to meditate, and 5 minutes, 3 minutes even, is better than nothing. Remember, when we meditate, our minds always wanders off somewhere else. If it does that, and when it does that, just gently notice that, whoa, my mind was not in the meditation. Let go of the thoughts that you were about to engage into, and then come back. And you do that maybe several times through just 3 minutes. And that's how we work. So the meditation would be to follow your breath. Inhaling, be courageous, or be strong actually. Inhale, be strong. And exhaling, be courageous. Inhaling, be strong. Exhaling, be courageous. And as you follow this sentence with your breath, maybe it becomes a little bit of a prayer into different areas of your life, and that's fine. I'll finish the video now, but I'll encourage you really to try this. Put maybe just a timer, very low timer, so you don't get scared, for 3 or 5 minutes, and try it. Be strong and be courageous. Thank you so much. And God's blessings on your path. And thank you for sharing this video with friends that need this message.